This is a butter sculpting match like no one's ever seen. Contestants had to work in a 50 degrees fridge for 3 full hours to complete their work. First up was the fan lady. Her first knife chop, a corner of butter broke off. Next was this black girl, but she's much smarter. She used dental floss to slice the butter clean in half. Meanwhile, May was no slouch either, and was focused on her own block. The boss lady contestant was still MIA. The crowd kept growing. Even Bob came to support his wife. Some onlookers began to question the fan lady, and she just threw down her knife and quit. She complained to May's fridge station. May asked her how the little girl's carving was going. The two sneaked out to take a look and realized, this kid's good. The girl's name is Dee. She grew up in an orphanage. She was recently adopted by a couple. They supported her hobby but worried she'd get upset losing. But now it seems that worry was unnecessary. With 10 minutes left, May added final details to her character while eyeing Dee, who was smoothing butter with her tiny hands, even attracted a lot of attention from the kids. Just then, the boss lady finally arrived fashionably late. She pulled out a lipstick and casually gestured with it. The judges were just starting their countdown.
2, 1.
The competition ended. Next segment required contestants to take turns presenting their works. The fan lady had carved 3 little kittens. Wait, are you kidding me? As for the boss lady, she's actually wearing a good girl's dress. Though her work was abstract, her speech was anything but ordinary.
And one day, I met another man, and that man was Jesus Christ.
The third presenter was Dee. She adjusted the microphone stand's height, showing 0 stage fright. Watching her supportive family in the crowd, she launched into her explanation with confidence.
Most of them have been overwhelmingly positive. So why then can a 10-year-old black girl with no family, no money, and no connections stand before you today and believe that she can win this competition?
Now May froze in panic. She glanced at her notes. Her rival Dee's work and performance had blindsided her. When May's turn came, her nerves made her stutter through the script, even veering into defensive rambling.
I'd like to remind you what this contest is about. It is about excellence in butter.
After the judges' scoring, the results were announced. Dee took first place. May couldn't believe it. She'd lost to a literal child. But the next day, Dee and her parents were summoned to the organizer's office. Then a man entered, claiming Dee's adoptive father had bribed him to finish her carving.
Ethan approached me knowing I have superior skills in the art of sculpting butter. I said no at first. But after he gave me $500.
This lie is so clumsily fabricated. He even kept peeking at notes hidden in his hat. Seizing the moment, May proposed, if Dee's innocent, let's have a rematch. Plot twist. The man was May's plant. After all, this little girl threatened her glory, so she'd schemed to force a do-over. As adults argued furiously, Dee shrugged. Fine, bring it on. It's the final showdown at the butter carving game. The two competitors had been camped out since dawn. The second the starting whistle blew, they bolted into the freezer room. Their mission? Carve a masterpiece out of butter in just 8 hours. Dee cracked open her toolkit like a pro and pulled out a giant meat cleaver. May's eyes nearly popped out of her head, but with that cleaver, the kid sliced through her butter block easily. Panicking, May yanked on gloves and started carving like she was racing against the clock. Nerves got the best of her. She'd barely smoothed the surface with a scraper when, oops, one corner of her block got sliced off. Meanwhile, Dee, cool as a cucumber. 0 stress, even as spectators crowded around. The crowd kept swelling. Both artists dove deeper into their work. Slowly, shapes emerged from the butter. 8 hours flew by, both now putting the final touches on their works. The crowd counted down together. Time's up, tools down, Dee's sculpture. A child nestled in their mother's arms. Mind-blowing. This came from a 10-year-old? May's piece? A detailed JFK assassination scene? Impressive, but next to Dee's, felt a bit underwhelming. Results would drop in 2 days. The crowd trickled out. May left too. But that night, a shadowy figure snuck into the venue, slid into Dee's freezer room, and aimed a blowtorch at her butter sculpture. Classic dirty move, totally May's doing. Results day arrived. Dee bounced in with her adoptive parents, only to freeze by what she saw. The baby's face had melted into a blur. Her dad begged judges for repair time, no luck. Judges were about to announce the winner. May smirked, thinking she'd bagged the trophy. But wait, the judges were moved by the imperfect sculpture.
And to be touched yourself at the sad, melted face of this unloved child.
Declaring Dee the champion anyway, Dee spotted May sulking and walked over.
I'd just like to say, this isn't all you have.
Finally, Dee gave her opponent a big hug. This time, May couldn't even argue the loss. The competition changed everything. Dee's grit won everyone's respect, and May, she finally let go. No more clinging to her husband's legacy. She threw her hat into the political ring. Who knows? Maybe this was her stage all along.